The long-awaited trailer for the fourth episode of the Amazing Digital Circus was finally released today. We saw a lot of new details to look forward to in the fourth episode. We were shown Zooble's room. But what exactly was Gangle doing in there? What exactly has changed about Gangle's character because of her new mask? We were shown Queen Gloink and Caine with a mailbox with suggestions written on it. In this video, I will tell you what all the new details we saw in the trailer mean. Let's start taking apart the trailer with the scene where we were shown Zooble's room. Thanks to the official pin on the Amazing Digital Circus, we already knew before that what part of Zooble's room looks like. In the shot with Gangle's new mask, we can see that Gangle is standing in Zooble's room in front of a mirror. If we look at the official pin again, we can see that next to the mirror there should be a Zooble box with an infinite amount of her parts in it. Zooble's box never appears in the trailer, but I'm sure it is here. It's just out of frame. In this shot, we can see that Gangle is still tentatively looking at her new mask. She is evaluating the new mask in the mirror as if she is trying it on for the very first time. From this, we can deduce that Gangle found her new mask in Zooble's spare parts box. By the way, did you notice that Gangle's new mask has a very slight design change? The star under her black eye has gotten a more prominent outline and a richer shade of yellow compared to the little comic book style teaser for TADC Cafe. The spiral under Gangle's white eye has taken on a pink color. I think this references the color palette of Zooble in her room. At this point, I wondered, how did Gangle get into Zooble's room and find her mask in her box? Gangle is usually very polite and shy, so it's unlikely she would have entered Zooble's room and just started looking for her mask in Zooble's box, like Jax might have done. I'm sure the trailer managed to show us the answer to that question as well. The trailer gives us a good look at a few dynamic scenes involving Caine, in which you can spot a mailbox next to him with suggestions written on it. I think the episode's plot twist will be connected to this mailbox. It's much more important than you might think. After his psychotherapy with Zooble in episode 3, Caine realized that not all of his ideas are good, and his adventures are not to the liking of many of the main characters. In episode 4, in order to improve the main character's experience, Caine will create this mailbox where each character can drop letters with suggestions on what should be changed in the digital circus. Gangle will take this opportunity to ask for the chance to get a mask that will help her become more confident, and that will be strong enough to not shatter from the first fall. Pomni will most likely ask for the opportunity to see Gummigoo again. I'll return to the topic of returning NPCs from past episodes later in the video. It seems to me that Caine will give himself license to propose too, and he's going to ask that Zooble stop missing the adventure. At the beginning of episode 4, Caine and Gangle will move into Zooble's room to find her and force her to participate in the adventure. In this scene, Caine will allow Gangle to find a new mask for herself in Zooble's spare parts box. In the trailer, we can hear the dialogue between Gangle, who is wearing the new mask, and Jax in the background of footage from the new episode. Through this, we can see how the new mask has affected Gangle's character.
That's right, team! We're working at a fast food place today, so roll up your sleeves and wash your hands cause we got burgers to make!
Why are you talking like that? What's wrong with you?
Gangle's voice has become much more confident and active, even compared to her voice in the Joy mask. Gangle plays the role of the manager of Spudsy's fast food restaurant and tries to cheer up the main character team. Gangle tells them to roll up their sleeves and wash their hands so they can start cooking burgers sooner. However, not all of the characters have the same optimism that Gangle has. Jax can't immediately recognize what's changed about Gangle and asked her why she speaks in such a strange voice and what's wrong with her.
Why are you talking like that? What's wrong with you?
Looks like somebody doesn't have their smile on.
Gangle responds with passive aggression. She now speaks from a strong position because she has become a manager at the restaurant. Gangle says, "It looks like someone doesn't have their smile on. Why don't you go to the freezer and get some patties ready?" At this point, Gangle opens the meat freezer door and lets Pomni and the unknown narrator who read the text in the episode 3 trailer out of there.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it was freezing in there.
Caine teleported Pomni into the fridge at the end of the episode 2 trailer.
I still don't really know anything about this episode, and I've been teleported to a meat freezer. Cool.
And the narrator ended up in the fridge with Pomni at the end of the episode 3 trailer.
And I've been teleported to a meat freezer. Cool.
Hey.
At this point, Jax reacts very surprised.
What were you... Who is... What's going on?
He doesn't realize who this character is or what's even going on here. There are 2 other scenes in the new trailer that caught my attention. In one, we see Jax taking visitors' orders by car. By the way, did you notice that the scene with the giant gloved hand putting Jax in the order-taking spot has been redrawn? It now takes into account that in the final version, Spudsy's restaurant is not inside another large building, but is set apart and looks more like the first McDonald's chain restaurants. We see in the trailer that one of Jax's customers will be Queen Gloink and Little Gloink. Jax is very surprised. He's clearly not happy about these customers. In the new episode, Queen Gloink will be able to get even with Jax for his jokes and insults he said to her in the pilot. I'm sure in episode 4, not only Queen Gloink will return from the old NPCs, but also Gummy Goo. In the trailer, we can see 2 shots from the same scene. In one shot, Pomni is standing at the cash register inside a restaurant, and she is very surprised and startled when she sees an unknown customer in front of her. That customer is probably Gummy Goo, who Caine had his memory erased. If you look closely, you can see a rich white fragment of this character's head at the top of the screen. Because of this, I can safely say that this is Gummy Goo. Unfortunately, Gummy Goo won't remember who Pomni is. Another important detail of the trailer is that Kinger only appeared once and inside the circus tent. This means that Kinger really won't be going on an adventure in episode 4. I think one of the sentences Caine will find in the mailbox will ask him to help Kinger get rid of his amnesia. To do this, Caine will allow Kinger to skip this adventure and stay with him for psychotherapy. The psychotherapy will follow roughly the same format as Zooble's psychotherapy. I think helping Kinger will be a wish from Ragatha. Ragatha always tries to pay attention to all the characters and act altruistic. In the trailer, we see many scenes where Gangle tries to keep a smile on his face and motivate all the other characters to work. However, it doesn't work out too well. In all of the scenes, Jax looks frustrated and lazy. In one shot where Jax is next to Zooble, who is busy cooking, Jax covers his face with his hands and howls in frustration. Did you notice that each character's uniform has a name tag with their name on it? It looks like these name tags were filled out by the characters themselves, because Jax's name tag says, "I don't care" instead of his name. It's possible that each character had to dictate their name to fill out these name tags, and Jax just didn't realize what would happen if he said, "I don't care." None of the main characters seem happy with their jobs. Pomni and Zooble don't perform their duties with apparent optimism. Even Ragatha is slowly starting to become weary and dissatisfied. At this time, Gangle looks manic. She controls her workers everywhere. Gangle seems to be constantly in the kitchen and trying to cheer up the other characters. She controls Pomni even when Pomni is taking out the trash. This makes Pomni very scared. I think we can learn all about Gangle's dark side in the new episode. What are your thoughts on this? Will Gangle be the main villain in the new episode, and will the rest of the heroes have to stop her? What exactly will be the goal of the new adventure? What other NPCs will return in episode 4? Write your thoughts and theories in the comments, and I'll be sure to read them. Remember, the best comments will make it into the new video. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck everyone, and bye-bye.